Hi everyone and welcome to Conversations That Matter. So today I've got the lovely Georgia alongside me. So yeah, I don't know, is there anything you want to say to introduce yourself or can we just get
Yeah.
into it?
Hi, everyone. I'm Georgia. Georgia Freshwater-Blizzard is my whole name. It's a bit of a mouthful. But I think it fits. I think it fits with the level of weirdness within me and my life. So
Okay.
I am a curious, creative person, definitely a cat person, and I love talking about anything that evolves into a deep conversation. I love skipping the small talk. So I'm really happy to be here with you today, Kelly.
I know, and I think that's something that for me, yeah, small talk is something that I struggle with. Try and do it, but it's like, yeah.
Yeah, the
Um,
formality.
yeah. Oh, but yeah, so the first question, obviously, that I said I wanted to really ask you, I just wanted to know I suppose a bit more about you and your journey and kind of what brought you to where you are today.
Mhm. Well, for context, I'm a 30-year-old woman born in the UK, in England,
Yeah.
and have spent quite a lot of my time in England as well. Um, Although I do love to travel. It's the thing that I spend most of my money on.
Yeah.
I have always been very into any creative pursuits. So
Mhm.
music, crafting, just any kind of thing that I can do with my hands. I've always loved. I I really got into fabric and textiles when I was about 18, 19,
Mm.
and especially the theory behind it and identity theory and how fabric can hold emotion and stories. um
Wow.
yeah, that's kind of been a driving force in my life to get me where I am.
So can you like give like a snapshot of what, I don't know if you can give a snapshot of what that is, the theory?
Well, I mean, yeah, so the idea that fabric holds emotions is
Mhm.
linked heavily to our wardrobes and our ability to part with items. So
Okay.
the easiest way for me to talk about it is to say, okay, if you opened up your wardrobe right now, that
Hmm.
you probably wear maybe a third of the things in there,
Yeah.
right? And the other things, they are, things that maybe you bought because you wanted to be a particular kind of person, but never actually put them on, or
Yeah.
that you wore once when you were on holiday and the weather has never been that nice in your
Yeah.
home country to be able to wear it again.
Yeah.
Maybe you even have a wedding dress hiding in the back that you said that you'd dye and cut up and wear again.
Have you been in my wardrobe?
um, and we hold on to these things for a reason.
Mm.
There is an emotional connection with the clothes, the memories, and the material, the way that it feels, the way that it
Mm.
looks, the way that it catches the light. And we imbue these fabrics with our own stories, and that's
Mm.
why it's so difficult to part with them. It's not the item itself. if
Yeah.
if we didn't put our own stories into it, it'd be easy. We could just move on and have loads of wardrobe space. um
That's so cool.
yeah.
Because yeah, I definitely am like attached to pieces. Like even when I was younger, I had like a blanket. I don't know if it's kind of a similar sort of thing. It was like I used to call it my gi, and I used to like have it, and I've still got bits of it now. And I can't like it's this like tiny little blanket now because it's been chopped and chopped and chopped.
Oh.
But but I can't like. But then there's also clothes that yeah from like my probably my early 20s, and I wouldn't
Mhm.
wear them now, but I just can't let go of them.
Right. Yeah.
That's really interesting. So
Because
is
it
that oh sorry, go on.
because it probably feels like a piece of you that you don't want to give up on or forget, or you still want
Yeah.
to hold space for that version of yourself.
Yeah, yeah. because I don't know if you ever do it, but like when the seasons change, I move things around in my wardrobe, and
Yeah.
there was all like these bits I used to wear to festivals, and I don't know, I need to start maybe going to festivals again. But you're right that that was kind of part of me,
Hmm.
um, and it still feels part of me. I just don't do it as much anymore.
Right.
So yeah,
Yeah.
okay. So that's kind of led you into kind of more of the creative space with like textiles and fabrics and things like that.
Yes, led me into everything, honestly. It personally, professionally,
Mm.
like my creative pursuits, everything. Like
Mm.
the the idea of identity in storytelling runs through my work in marketing. It
Hmm.
runs through my journaling and poetry writing and storytelling. It
Hmm.
runs through me weaving fabric myself.
Wow.
Yeah, it's been it's learning about identity and stories in that tactile way has
Mm.
really kind of it, I don't know, it did something inside. It
Yeah.
unlocked something in my heart, and
Yeah.
then I just am drawn to anything that um kind of kind of I don't know, respects the idea of an emotional journey of some kind, I suppose.
Mm. I love that. And obviously with this being called Conversations That Matter, I suppose I wanted to, and it maybe it links in with the storytelling what we were just talking about, but what does that phrase Conversations That Matter actually mean to you?
Mm. Well, I think to me it is at its very center a feeling of knowing that we're not alone,
Mm.
because by talking frankly about our own realities, we're guaranteed in some way to for somebody to hear it and them say, "Oh, I feel exactly that way. I thought I was alone, but
Yeah.
now I'm not."
Yeah.
And that matters to me because I went through a huge long period of trying to figure out where I fit in the world.
Mm.
And the more that I heard people talking about their own experiences, the
Mm.
more I felt like, oh, actually, maybe I can do this too.
Yeah. It's it's like that, like humans, we're social creatures, right? So kind of
Mm.
we long for that connection, but I think sometimes, and I don't want to blame it too much on the modern world, because otherwise, if we didn't have the modern world, we wouldn't have connected. But like sometimes those deep conversations and the conversations where you can feel more connected to people, I don't know if they happen as frequently. I don't know.
I think we're so set up for be productive, be productive, be productive,
Mm.
that we are finding less and less space to just be. And I think that's
Mm.
where those conversations happen, is to
Mm.
the just being.
Yeah, yeah. And and what you said about at the beginning, like that your love for travel, and that's something that like resonates with me. If I can travel as much as I can, and I think when you travel, the conversations that you have with people that you may have never crossed paths with,
Yeah.
like that's a I love that part of traveling.
Mm-hmm.
Those
Yeah,
sorts
me
of
too.
yeah, because you don't know who you're going to end up speaking to, and then I don't know.
It's like that whole thing of you don't know what you don't know.
Yeah, yeah.
You, without having conversations with people that have lived completely different lives to you,
Mm,
you don't know what the potential of life really,
mm,
really is.
yeah. Is there any, I don't know if you'd be able to remember, but was there any like conversations that you've had while traveling that have really stood out to you? Or anything that you've kind of learned or
Oh gosh. Uh I mean every every conversation. So when I go to a place,
mm,
I try and immerse myself in it as much as possible.
me too.
I'm usually either like doing a bit of work or finding a way into a community
Mm,
or something. So I end up really being able to see how their way of life is different to what I had going on, especially at the moment. So I earlier in the year decided to move full time to Vietnam,
Mm.
and that culturally is just so different.
Yeah.
Um, Everyone supports each other, uh,
Mm.
and talks to each other and helps each other, and
Mm.
um, are more open with their challenges and wins, and
Mm.
uh, it's still really creative, but then there's the whole like communism versus capitalism thing, and it's just it's just opened my eyes a lot, because a lot of the traveling that I've done before has been um, through places that capitalism and Western ways of living have
Mm.
reached.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Um, so I think that really had the biggest impact, and the conversations that I have while I'm there, it's kind of like the people's brains are just wired differently, you know.
Yeah.
The things that are stressful aren't stressful, but other things take their place because it's just a different system, if that makes
Yeah.
sense.
Yeah. So yeah, so kind of yeah, the stresses that you kind of experience in the UK, and then going, as you said, it's they're different. There's still stressors there, but they're just different. Yeah, depending on like the system or the environment that
Right.
individuals are in.
Yeah, different priorities.
Mm. Yeah, and I think for me traveling, like trying to go to places that feel really different to what I'm used to. I
Mm-hmm.
think that that's felt really important, and I think I suppose when as soon as I was old enough to kind of travel independently, I think I went to Thailand when I was like 19. Um, and kind of as you're saying, kind of seeing a completely different culture and a different way of life just kind of opened up, I suppose, quite blinkered eyes. Um, Obviously I know not everyone's able to travel, but there's still like I think things that you can learn or you can share. Like I even love watching like travel vlogs and things like that, like kind of learning about cultures in that way as well.
Yeah.
And food as well. I think food in different like that way of communicating.
Mm.
I
God,
think
yeah,
yeah.
I could talk forever about food, and personally, I think that the best way to communicate and bond with another human being is to share a meal with them, because
Mhm.
you just learn things that you would never learn in any other context.
Yeah. Yeah. And just and how different places do meals differently. Like if you go more into Europe, it's like it feels like it is this longer like celebration of food and it goes on for like hours rather than sometimes like the grab and go kind of culture and way of eating it just but yeah you're right that I think yeah sharing a meal with someone you can learn yeah so much um yeah no I could talk about what's your favorite meal.
Well, so okay, so I have three top cuisines.
Yeah,
Favorite meal is even more difficult, but
okay, get what the top cuisines in.
top three is Vietnamese food, thank
Yeah.
goodness. Indian food and Mexican food. So basically, I'm a rice girly,
Yeah.
and I like things a little bit spicier.
Yeah.
Yeah. What about you?
Oh gosh, if I was to do cuisines, oh mm. Indian would probably be there. I
Mm.
went to India a couple of years ago, and that was having the food out there was just incredible.
I can only imagine. I'm
Oh,
jealous just thinking about it.
the paneer! I had this paneer on this beach, and I've just been craving it ever since I've come back. I just need to find it. It was like tikka paneer, but it was oh the most gorgeous thing in the world.
Oh my God, was it cubed or was it crumbled?
Cubed.
Mm. Mm.
Yeah, it was delicious. And like, yeah, I think it's paneer tikka shashlik. And it was, oh yeah, sorry, I've just gone off on a complete tangent, but
No,
yeah.
no, no, no. I used to work in an Indian restaurant.
Yeah.
So, and we had these incredible tandoor ovens,
Mm.
and being friends with the tandoor chef in the Indian restaurant that you work at is a good
Good
plan.
move. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, definitely. Oh my gosh. Yeah. And not just not anyway, yeah, so Indian, Italian.
Mm.
Oh my gosh. I'm literally torn between French and Thai.
Okay, that's really interesting. Okay, okay. But can I ask a question? Do you like English food?
Yeah.
Will you say that with kind of a question mark though? I feel very alone as an English person that doesn't like English food. So
I mean, yeah, I mean, I've got nothing against it. Maybe, yeah, but I just feel, I don't know. Because I don't eat meat. I don't know why.
same.
Yeah, so like I do eat fish occasionally. Um, but I just feel when I go to the places that I said that there's just more options if you don't eat meat. I don't know if that's fair to say about English food. Probably not, but
Yeah, okay. Okay, but French, interesting.
yeah, well, I've got family in France and I go there a lot and
Okay.
I love the way that they eat. So I love the way that they eat seasonally and
Mm,
kind of the love and attention that is prepared to kind of each part of when you're cooking a dish. It's just not like slapping things together. It's kind of you need to kind of make sure you have this ingredient from this region and oh, that's not in season, so we can't use that, so we need to adapt the menu for, and that's I love that sort of intricacy of it.
that's beautiful.
Yeah, so that's, but again, obviously, I'm probably biased because my family, but but it just, I suppose, yeah, I was saying about the relationship and kind of how people eat, and I suppose it maybe, well, but I just do love Italian food anyway, but also the kind of the way that in Italy, kind of, and again, like in terms of even the times of eating, like I eat quite late in the evening,
Mm.
and a lot of my family they'll be having their dinner at like 5 or like 5, half 5. I'm like, that's bizarre to me. 8, 9 o'clock. I'm like, okay, yeah, dinner time. Um, but yeah, it's what makes you, is there anything, would you say you don't like English food? Would that be like your stance?
Uh, I wouldn't go that far, but like you say, as a vegetarian, I mean the classics, roast dinner, fish and
Mm,
chips.
yeah.
Um, the one
But
thing that is an exception is mashed potato.
oh yeah.
I adore mashed potato with a passion.
Yeah.
I could easily happily drown myself in mashed potato, especially cheesy mashed potato. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, no, I'm just potatoes of any any kind of mashed potato. Like there's a Jamaican dish, but it's called was it like Jamaican potato salad? So I've got friends that are like, their family from Jamaica, and but basically it's like potato kind of roughly mashed, and then you boil a couple of eggs,
Oh,
mash them up in it with loads of like salt and pepper and loads of mayo.
amazing.
Yeah, and it just
I
literally
I can't see how that would be bad
no,
ever.
exactly. You just eat it. But yeah, I think, but as you said, like with I remember when I haven't eaten meat for probably about 11, 12 years now.
Mm.
How about you? How long have you been a non-meat eater?
Oh, 26 years. I
Wow.
decided when I was 4 years old that I was going to be a vegetarian because I found out that you actually had to kill an animal to get the
Yeah.
meat out.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh no, not doing that.
I don't want to do that. But oh yeah, so you probably didn't have that as much, but when I first kind of stopped it, like there were so many Christmas dinners where there was nothing. I just got the vegetables and like roast potatoes and Yorkshires, and then sometimes I would do the Yorkshires or the potatoes in goose fat or something.
uh,
So now I've just got vegetables.
that sucks.
Yeah.
That really sucks, especially now. Like now, you have experienced all the different cuisines, and you know how good food can be if you actually learn to cook without meat.
Yep,
It's
yep, yep.
so much better. What the
Yeah.
heck?
Yeah. And I think that's it in terms of what you're saying, like with the spice and stuff, that it's just different cultures kind of handle, maybe it's the amount of spices or kind of knowing but it's the balance. It's not just chucking all the spice in, it's like that delicate balance of knowing, yeah, the spices and things like that.
Yeah, learning flavor better.
Yeah, yeah, maybe. Okay, yeah, I'm gonna move, so I'm just gonna keep talking about food. Um, and this kind of bit, it kind of links in. So it was about that if you could talk to your younger self, what would you say? Or would
uh,
anything you'd say to them?
I would tell her to make more mistakes
Okay.
because I was so concerned about fitting in and making sure that I survived
Mm,
that I was just very, very careful. And I did make some mistakes,
mm,
none that I regret.
yeah.
But I think, that saying, youth is wasted on the young.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
If if I knew actually really how low stakes everything was, then I
Mm.
would have definitely misbehaved a lot more.
I love that. But I think that resonates with me. Like, I think I was always someone that struggled to make mistakes. And I think that I would do everything in my power not to make mistakes. But eventually you drop the ball. Like if you're like at school or at home or with your friends, and eventually one of those kind of things is gonna
Yeah.
shatter and you're just like a young person in the middle of it trying to balance it all out and not, as you said, not really understanding how like sweating the small stuff
Mm.
and
Yeah.
kind of yeah,
And when you're like trying to balance all of those things and one thing goes wrong, it feels like the end of the world.
yeah,
It really does.
yeah. I think would you say like in particularly like in your teens you was kind of it would be more like is that bit all just like throughout your like your younger years?
Uh no, I think it applies to my whole life, to be honest.
Mm. Okay.
I really do. I think there's a a lot more room than people think for just going with your gut and being yourself and pushing that fear of failure to the side so
Mm,
that you can ultimately learn faster and more and
mm,
have more enjoyment and peace out of life.
mm. Because yeah, it's that fear of failure, isn't it? That's the kind of and I think that at different points in our life, we probably define failure in a different way.
Yeah, yeah, definitely.
Yeah, because I think, yeah, my view, yeah, definitely. I'm just kind of running through the timeline of my life and kind of thinking how, like at school, it would be kind of like, yeah, if you had an argument with a friend and it would be like, oh my gosh, like I'm like, and then it kind of yeah change. I mean that, but it changes to some
It
degree.
does. I think there's like a run through, like a thread all the way through
Mm,
mine, in that it's always been about communication for me. Like
mm,
I I always worried that I wouldn't be good enough at communicating what was in my head and what was in my heart.
mm.
Um, and I spent so long worrying about that that I never said anything.
Okay, yeah. So you just kept it in.
Yeah, yeah. And that's a lose-lose situation, really, isn't it?
Mm. Yeah, because you just like blocked in a way, I suppose, that you've got all these things in your head, but you can't get them from your head to your mouth.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And I think with like communication it is so important, but I think we all do it in so many different ways.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that understanding that and like understanding kind of how different people communicate can feel really, really confusing. But I think it's yeah, work it like when it say if I do couples therapy, one of the main things
Mm.
I not I teach, but we talk about is communication.
Great.
And it's just if you can kind of get that and kind of work out how the other party communicates, it's like, oh, okay, I can navigate this or I can navigate that. And but exactly as you're saying, that people have all these things in here, but then they can't get it to here, and then it's just, yeah. Okay. So kind of thinking about that thread of life, has there or is there like any sort of moment or experience that you would say that maybe changed how you viewed yourself or how you viewed the world?
Uh yeah, so there are a couple of things. One links back to the conversation that we had about travel, because I
Mm.
think there's definitely something to be said about learning about other structures where
Mm.
and learning about how different people see productivity,
Okay.
um, especially because so I was diagnosed with endometriosis and went through the whole surgery and all of that stuff.
Mm.
Um, and you know, it's still a big part of my life,
Mm.
and affects a lot. But it also affects it. It made me rearrange how I think about productivity.
Oh, in what
Yeah.
way?
Well, so at its worst, I was face down on my bed, unable to even move a single muscle because I was in so much pain. All I could do was just cry into the pillow,
Oh
uh,
my.
not even moving.
Mm.
And yet, I would, when I needed to go into the office, take at least one naproxen, probably more like two or three, to be able to get through the day.
Yeah.
And I can't even imagine the havoc that was playing on my body.
Yeah.
um and you know, something had to give.
Mm.
And what really needed to happen was for me to appreciate um my like what my own schedule needed to be in order for myself to look after myself
Mm.
and feel like I'm contributing to society in some way, I suppose.
And how old were you when you got diagnosed?
So I got the annoying thing with endometriosis is they can't officially diagnose you until you are in surgery. Um,
I never knew that.
it's the only gold star diagnosis method is cutting you open.
Oh
Yeah,
my gosh.
they can do lots of things beforehand to try and figure out if maybe you have it, but
Yeah.
then they're like, okay, so we're like 80% sure,
Yeah.
let's cut you open and find out for real, and see how severe it is. And then you wake up from the surgery and they say, oh yeah, that was pretty bad. We took it all out for you. Hope you feel
Oh my,
better soon.
yeah. I know, 'cause I just knew that I have people that I've known throughout my life and they've shared that they have endometriosis, but yeah, I didn't know that it was, but I just know that when they were talking about the process of getting diagnosed,
Mm-hmm.
just took so long.
Right, yeah.
Um, and just the kind of just not feeling understood for their pain or kind of
Yeah,
sometimes like pushed away or
right.
and that was definitely like a theme of when people have shared.
That is common, and that is my experience too. So I officially got diagnosed through the surgery in 2020. Yes,
Okay.
mid-pandemic. That was experience and a half.
Yeah.
But for about 4 years before that, I had been seeing various GPs,
Mm,
including women, who had told me, oh, yeah, it probably is just, I don't know, constipation or something. Take some Buscopan.
mm, yeah.
And I would say, okay, I mean, it feels a lot more serious than that.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I feel like I would recognize that.
Yeah.
But okay, sure, you're the professional here. You're the one that's had the training, not me.
Yeah.
Wow, I am never saying that phrase again because several years later, I used a phrase. I don't remember the exact phrase because it caught me off guard, her
Mm,
reaction to it.
mm,
But I said something like, I'm just at the end of my like capability to cope with this. I am unable to work. I'm unable to think straight. It is seriously affecting my quality of life. And she was like, oh, it's seriously affecting your quality of life? Oh, okay. I'm like, what? All these conversations up until now.
Yeah.
And you just had to hear those exact series of words, even though that's what I've been saying the whole time. But there we
Yeah.
go. So yeah, we got there in the end, but it was maybe 4 years worth of appointments.
Yeah.
And I know that I'm quite lucky because for a lot of women it takes 8, sometimes 10 years of
Yeah.
badgering.
Yeah. And was that when you said it linked to travel? So after that, was that kind of when you just wanted to travel more like with the productivity side of it, or was it more the kind of you checking in with your body and like, yeah, I suppose the connection between that?
So I think the when I realized that something needed to give because of the amount of pain I was in, I knew that I needed to reassess how I saw productivity.
Okay. Okay. Yeah.
But then it was the seeing how other places in the world do productivity or view
Yeah.
it or
Yeah.
categorize it that made me able to see that there are other ways.
Yeah. Okay. And and again, kind of going back to what we were saying with the places that we've shared that we traveled to, that I think that there is a different way of life and there is a different, as you said, like with the productivity. Um, like again, like in France, people rarely start, or see some places they don't start work till a lot later than what is done in the UK. And it's kind of like you never talk about kind of work after work. And it's like that part of your life is very much put to one side. And I think that until we kind of check in with ourselves and like how we see productivity. And I think something that I have struggled with is like the idea that you have to like deserve rest. And that has been, yeah, something that I've actually really, really struggled with, even though like I remind and I talk to people about it, I try and remind myself of it, but I do get sometimes stuck in that, like, oh, I can't chill out because I need to like do this or do that. And it's like, no, like my body wants this, take
Yeah,
it.
yeah, yeah.
Um,
The
but yeah,
guilt is oh, it's hard to keep at bay
yeah.
sometimes.
It's like, oh, I should be doing something more with my time, or I should be all the shoulds, like,
The
yeah,
shoulds,
yeah,
oh, the evil shoulds.
yeah. It's like the guilt and then the shoulds that come in. I was like, leave me alone,
Yeah,
and then I'll be fine.
yeah.
Um, we with work, obviously, we haven't really spoken much about kind of what you do, but in terms of what you do for work, is there any sort of like common misconceptions or what people often misunderstand about the field that you work in?
Ooh, okay. Well, I mentioned a lot about textiles, and
Mm.
I am a marketing strategist for makers
Okay.
because the storytelling and the theory and the community and the creativity, like I needed it all in one, and that
Mm.
was the path that allowed me to do that, and
Okay.
it's been bloody awesome.
Yeah.
um I think this is heavily linked to storytelling because
Mm.
I met somebody once who said that after speaking to me, they no longer thought that marketing was this shady thing that people do.
Okay.
I know. And I was like, oh, okay, well, that's interesting. So, what did you think it was?
Hmm.
And they said, oh, yeah, I just thought it was basically just telling lies and white lies to get people to buy products. And I completely understand where they're
Yeah,
coming
yeah,
from.
yeah.
Um, but and you know what? There are probably some marketers out there that
Mm.
is what they're doing.
Yeah, yeah.
But for me, it's like I said, not to go on and on and on about it. It's all about the storytelling, and it's
Yeah.
all about people, like
Hmm.
connection,
Hmm.
um, and serving ultimately, like being able
Mm.
to show up for people and help their lives be better, and um like reach as many people that need your help as possible.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's like really beautiful and kind of
Yeah.
the antithesis to marketing is lying.
Yeah. The complete opposite.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
yeah, so like, and again, like in my field, like when kind of setting up, like working for myself, like marketing was part of that, and it was something that was never really taught to us at uni or when we were studying. And it was exactly as you said, it wanted to feel genuine, it wanted to feel like we were sharing the story and kind of the offerings and things like that, not it feeling like, well, see, one, it was really unethical what we were saying, and it was, and it's just so I think of that being that genuine person and being able to share that. But I think, like you said with that person, that when if I'm like speaking to like other therapists or other psychologists, when you say the word marketing, people are automatically like, oh, like, how
Yeah.
do I do that? Like,
And it's like for people in the field, that must be even more of a difficult task, because
mm,
there's such, you have to have, you have to be really good, you have to be really aware of your guidelines and practices,
yeah,
and you can't mess around with it at all.
no, and it's finding how you can promote yourself in those kind of so rightly so like really strict guidelines.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and I don't know, it's probably another thing, but maybe the guidelines were created where people were less likely to go alone. Um, Obviously, I know they've been updated, but maybe there is that. Yeah, how can you market yourself as something when it's you don't really know how apart from being yourself.
Right,
But
yeah.
but then, as you're saying with the storytelling, maybe that's enough just to be yourself and to tell like your story in terms of what you can do, like your training and like your interests or your that, because that's still storytelling, isn't
Yeah,
it? Yeah.
it is. Yeah. I think that is the baseline, that is why I got into strategy in the first place, because
Mm,
it's something that people get really excited about, hacks and growth, and
mm,
like, oh, this there's this new trend we need to do immediately. Let's spend loads of money on ads. Um, but without the baseline of
mm,
storytelling, even if you can, if you're in an opportunity to do all of the other things, without the
mm.
storytelling, um, it's kind of like it's like throwing pasta at the wall and hoping it sticks.
Yeah. It's it's just I suppose meaningless because there isn't that meaning behind it because with storytelling comes meaning.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
So it's that doing things like unintentional, what's the word? Like I suppose like an unintentional
Yeah,
act or something.
without intention.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
that sort of thing. Hmm. Okay. What else? Oh yeah, so what do you have one question that you wish people would ask more often?
Ooh. About my work, or in general
Anything.
conversations?
Yeah, anything. In general conversations.
So I have a bit of an issue actually in my life, in that I tend to love asking questions.
Yeah.
And so the only time that I unintentionally allow people to ask me more questions is in situations like this.
Yeah, okay.
So I often will be building relationships with people,
Mm,
any kind of relationship, and 3 months into knowing somebody or working with somebody, I will mention something related to one of my experiences,
mm.
and they'll look at me being confused about why I haven't told them that beforehand.
Okay.
But I so I guess my answer to the question is, I wish everyone would ask each other more questions all of the time.
Mm,
I think that we are not curious enough about each other
mm.
in general.
Yeah.
Um, and the funny thing is I I'm not sure that I've ever met my limit as to what people have been asking me. That's no, that's going to encourage some people dropping into my DMs that I don't want.
Trying to push the guy like, how far can we push her?
Yeah, exactly. um I like it. I like all question asking.
Mm,
um I think probably these conversations, asking
mm,
people, hey, what has your life been like
mm,
what are your values, what keeps you
mm,
grounded, what are you most interested in,
mm.
what lights you up.
Yeah,
uh,
yeah.
those questions I think are so important and not asked enough.
And I think kind of similar with that, that kind of the how are yous. Like I wish people would answer them.
Genuinely,
Yeah.
me
Yeah.
too. It's one of the most frustrating things because I kind of had to learn that when people say, "Oh, how's it going?" they're not actually asking you how you are,
Mm.
because
Yeah.
my instinct is to tell them.
Feel like this is exactly how it's going.
Yeah, and actually they just went, they were after a, yeah, not bad, how are you? And then to
Mm.
continue with their day.
Yeah. Yeah. But I, yeah, and I think so you got like the first, like when you're first meeting someone and stuff, like I kind of I get it, but then as you've got that relationship, like actually tell me how you are. Like, you may be good. Okay, so why are you good? Why are you feeling good today? What's like been something, but
See, I want that from the very beginning. I want to meet somebody. I want to say, "Hi, my name's Georgia. Nice to meet you. How was your day gone today? Like genuinely, how is it gone? Like how
yeah,
did you feel when you wake up? How did you choose what you wanted to wear today? I want to know."
I'd love that. I like that question. How did you feel when you chose what to wear today?
Yeah. I think that says a lot about somebody, by the way.
Yeah. I am someone that prepares my outfit the night before.
Are you? That's like my mum. Yeah, she's a
Yeah.
big advocate for choosing what you are going to wear ahead of time.
Yeah, I even like today I was working from home and even then like I don't know why, but I just to put it out. I was like, I'm literally at home. I
It's
don't need to.
lovely.
Yeah.
I love a ritual.
Yeah, it's just I don't know when I started doing it, but it's just yeah, something that I couldn't even, maybe I've done that since I was really young actually. I know when I was really small, I used to change my outfit throughout the day. Like my mum would leave me to my own devices and I would come back sometimes like in a tutu or then I'd come down like in something else.
Cute. Oh, I love that.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, but I really like that question. I might borrow that question.
Yeah,
I think that's
please
such
do.
like yeah, 'cause that's such I love that. What in so there's yeah, literally two more questions that I wanted to ask, and it's kind of linked to what we were maybe just talking about. But what gives you hope?
Um, so I went to a workshop last Sunday,
Mm,
that was just a group of people getting together to talk about our um, what we hope for the world, and
mm,
um, try and like move some of the anger that we feel about all of the horrible things happening in the
mm,
world right now,
mm.
um, and try and process it through um, making zines, like little, like cutting up magazines and making and
Okay.
putting things together and just
Mm,
processing through the physical act of making.
wow.
And that kind of thing gives me so much hope,
Mm,
because I am, if I let myself watch and hear and read too much,
mm,
deeply affected by everything that's going on, and I
mm,
really struggle to know how to process it. But the
mm,
idea that people can use creativity to not only process their own feelings but also become almost passive activists in that way,
yeah,
that gives me so much hope for the future, really.
yeah. And so like so I went to a conference last week and that was one of the themes of one of that talk, that kind of like the activism, but like making decisions like on a daily basis of what you can do and kind of not losing that hope and kind of thinking about what you can do. And I think that also gives me hope to kind of see that and see that in other people. Even if it's just your small corner of the world,
Yeah.
that yeah, that you know, yeah, and that workshop sounds lovely.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
it was stunning. It was stunning. I think we all need more moments like that, but
Mm,
we don't necessarily seek them out because we don't think we have time, or
mhm,
other things are more important, or
mhm.
we've got to be here and we've got to do this, and the shoulds again, right?
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, you're completely right. It's kind of, yeah, like, oh, I don't know. Yeah, I should be doing whatever else it is apart from the thing that actually kind of could inspire, light you up, kind of give you hope. And then, yeah, okay. And the last question is kind of similar to where you was going as well, that if you could leave one message with the world today, what would it be?
It would be, for me, I the thing that frustrates me most
Hmm.
in the world is when people don't even try to listen to each other,
Hmm.
understand each other, empathize with each other,
Hmm.
um, especially those that seem the most different to you. So
Yeah.
if I could leave one thing behind, it would be that. It would be, please just even if you just try a little bit
Mm,
to see that person that is the opposite side of, I don't know, the political spectrum, or
mm,
um, has a different set of morals in your opinion,
mm,
or that has done actions that you find absolutely deplorable.
mm,
um, if you try and uh, empathize, I'm not saying forgive,
hmm,
um, but just try and understand where they're coming from, I think
mm.
the whole world would be a much nicer place to live.
Yeah. Amazing. Yeah. I think, and one of the things I always say is that we often have a lot more alike than we are different if we just kind of give it a try to have those conversations or to see it.
Yeah,
Because I think that, again, going back to the conversations, if you don't have those conversations and you don't have those opportunities to find the similarities or find common ground, even if there are so many other differences.
yeah,
um, yeah.
so true.
Thank you. That was really nice. Thank you. Was there anything else you wanted to add before we close it?
No, no, just that I'm really grateful to have had this conversation with you.
Thank
Like,
you.
I think the more people can have conversations like this, the better. So,
Yeah.
thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Let me